Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. It was all good just a week ago. Anyway, sorry for the tardiness. Sorry for the tardiness. I had to keep on pushing the time back because we had a bit of a last minute emergency, but okay. All right. Shout out to Angry Man for this. Um, let's get the important stuff out the way. We are covering this because we are speaking about what the future holds, right? For all intents and purposes, um, what the future holds. We're speaking about the increasing tax burden on our society. We're speaking about what South Korea is experiencing now with a whole lot of single women and how, they're burdening the system, right? We're speaking about all of that. Hopefully, you guys can hear me, right? We're speaking about all of that. So, the reason why we're covering this is that. Okay, cool. If y'all checked out the clips, what you will see is Angry Man posted a clip of, and it was a short of. Sorry about that, y'all, you guys. Um, Posted a clip of Meg The Stallion, pretty much saying we don't need you, Negroes. We want y'all, but we don't need y'all, right? Y'all gotta understand. We want y'all, but we don't need y'all, right? And then the second part was Taraji P Henson saying, "Black men, we need you," right? We need you. We need you. We love you. We need you, right? Okay. So there's a huge age gap here, some 20 some odd years age gap. So there's that. There is experience difference, obviously. Um, we can estimate that Taraji was Meg The Stallion in the past, especially with the "we don't need you" part. So there's age, maturity, experience. What I also posted was a music video of Meg The Stallion where she's kind of, it's called Plan B, and she's bragging about, playing, right, getting back at you and all this other stuff, and how you should be glad that you in her vagina and et cetera, et cetera, and it gives me Little Kim vibes, right? 90s Little Kim vibes, right? Now, can anyone tell Mr. Z, how's Little Kim doing right now? God damn. Right? How's Little Kim doing right now? Right? Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. So Meg The Stallion is indicative of what a lot of young women, black women, are, what they think and how they think. Meg The Stallion has the money to speak this way. She's probably going to be good for the rest of her life financially. Right? She's probably going to be good for the rest of her life financially. The other women that think like Meg The Stallion, not so much. Now, when Meg The Stallion spoke about "we don't need you, we want you," it also reminded Mr. Z of Amanda Seales saying this a few years ago, right? And how actually it's a good thing, and men shouldn't want women to need them. It's a good thing that women want men. Someone tell me, how is Amanda Seales' dating life right now? How's her love life right now? You know, there's nothing wrong with being strong and independent, but keep that same energy because the internet doesn't forget and the internet is forever, right? Keep that same energy because the internet doesn't forget and the internet is forever. There's a whole lot of people in their pride, particularly women in their pride, speaking about how they don't need men, they barely want men, and they definitely, if they do want men, they want a very specific type of man. Nothing wrong with that. Like Mr. Z really means that. There's nothing wrong with that. But remember, the internet is forever, and the internet doesn't forget, and you will have these things thrown in your face. There are accounts on Twitter that say, "This is you, this you." I know y'all seen those accounts, "this you" accounts, where they throw something in your face that you said 5 years ago, 2 years ago, yesterday, 7, 8 years ago, right? Right? We also have people like Paula Poroskova, right? The former swimsuit model, who's what, in her 50s now, complaining about the dating scene. At one point, she had any man she wanted at her fingertips. Any man she wanted at her fingertips. What Meg The Stallion is expressing here is so typical. This is typical of a young woman feeling herself. There's nothing wrong with that. And she's rich and she's famous. There's nothing wrong with that. And she's currently dating a soccer player, from my understanding. There's nothing wrong with what Meg The Stallion said, but she got to own that. And the internet is going to make her own that forever. The one good thing boomers and older Xers and, silent generation had is that when they were in their arrogance and all the things they've said in hair salons and nail shops all around the country, it wasn't being recorded necessarily. They weren't recording themselves necessarily. So they got to experience life, let's call a thing, get hit upside the head a few times by life, maybe move to a different city, different state, reinvent themselves, and get married. Even get married with some other dude's kids. The arrogance of millennial and Gen Z women, I don't know if it'll permit them to be able to do that. Right? Okay, Mr. Z got to go on a rant. I'm sorry, y'all. Listen. Okay. I'm trying not to sound like an elitist a-hole. I'm trying, y'all. Look, all you people on the road with automobiles that you don't care about, you don't care about your life, you don't care about the car you drive, you're driving your mom. Okay, I'm trying. Look, there's some of us that work hard for what we have. We have what we wanted. We worked hard for it. It's not luck. Could you please get off the road? Right? Dude, go take a last minute yellow light that it's red. It's a red light. And his lane merges and it merges into my lane. His lane merges. And he took it anyway, without looking, mind you, and almost ran into me. I'm not going to make fun of the car that he's driving. I'm not going to make one of these elitist jokes. But please, y'all don't care about the car y'all drive. Y'all don't care about nothing. Y'all have no appreciation for anything. Please don't be on the road with people like me that worked ourselves to death to get what we have. We know you don't care about anything. Right? So back to the topic at hand. Right? What Meg The Stallion is exhibiting here is typical. Will Meg The Stallion become a Taraji P. Henson? Probably. Is Mr. Z wishing that for her? Right? It's pretty sad. But there are so many Gen Z and millennials talking real reckless on the internet. A lot of women talking real reckless on the internet. And I understand when you're young and you're tight and everything's in the right place. And you could get any man, just about any man at any time. You'll snap your fingers and they'll come running. It's easy to get into your arrogant bag, right? It's easy to be arrogant at that time in your life. It's easy to talk about how you don't need no man while the society is subsidizing you. It's easy to say that. I wish I could find this clip. And if anybody has ever seen this before, please link it in the comments below. There was a clip one time I watched of I want to say they were feminists, but they were women speaking, and they were speaking about their careers, and they were speaking about life and being career women. It was white women, and it was a middle-aged, maybe trending towards older white woman, and she was speaking to a young black woman. Listen, your career, that's great and whatever, but she started talking to her about relationships. She said, listen, as you get older, that train of men, and she said this, I've said this before, the train comes every 15 minutes and it's pouring men. And as you get older, that 15 minutes turns to 30 minutes and it's a little less men. That 30 minutes turns into an hour and it's even less men. That hour turns to every 6 hours and it's even less men. And then that every 6 hours turn to every day and it's 1 or 2 men trickling off. Something like that, she said. Something like that. So if anybody has ever seen this clip that I'm talking about, please link it in the comments below. Right? But Meg The Stallion and a lot of Gen Z and a lot of millennials, they just don't get it, right? They just don't get it. And that's okay. But I want men to remember, they mean it. Now, they may not mean it in 20 years, but they mean it right now. Meg The Stallion is a woman of her time. She is not just speaking for herself. She's indicative of a lot of women. And that's one of the reasons they celebrate her. This is what freedom looks like. This is what they want. To be able to say this. To be able to live this. Now, how long do they live this? That's a different question. Right? But this is the dream right here. Right? This is the dream. This is the goal. This is what many women aspire to. Particularly 21st century black women, younger black women. Oh yeah, this is the goal. Right? So what Meg The Stallion said here is important. And I'm glad that give me 1 second. I'm glad that Angry Man covered it. Traffic, y'all, traffic. Right? And he showed like this is the evolution of we don't need you conversation. It moves to we don't need you. And remember, Meg The Stallion's in a relationship. To we need you. And this is the mantra, this is the theme of many young women's life. This is the theme. We don't need you. We like to poke fun at you. We like to talk about how inept you are, right? How big of losers you are when we're young. We love doing that. But of course they do, because men are pouring all over them when they're young. Of course the young women sound like Meg The Stallion. Who else would they sound like? Imagine, brother, put it this way. Your best looking, most charismatic man is still not competing with your average woman for attention. Let alone a famous woman like Meg The Stallion, who some people find, attractive. Right? Here's a question. Can the system pay for all of these single, possibly never got married, and maybe never had children, women. Can the system pay for them? A generation that is a financial burden on the system because I'm strong and independent plus time doesn't look good, right? Do these women realize how much they're being subsidized by this society to then turn around and poke fun at the men who are half of the people at the least that's subsidizing the society to allow for them to tell you how they don't need you, right? This is the message and the prevailing ethos coming out of the West right now, right? This is the sound of 21st century modern women freedom, right? This is what freedom looks like. I got to remind y'all again, once again, let them talk. This is what letting them talk looks like. The first thing they want to tell you is how much they don't need you. Very important, right? Something that's not often talked about also is men's feelings after hearing this. And yeah, I'm talking about men's feelings. Men's feelings after hearing this decade after decade after decade. Do we really think that men's feelings don't matter in this society? Right? Decade after decade after decade of hearing this. And this is still on the lighter note. This is still light work. She still didn't say the worst of the worst, right? Now it's not like Meg The Stallion isn't participating in a genre created by black men. It's not like that, right? It's not like Meg The Stallion didn't get co-signed by black men all across Texas. No, she don't need you. Remember that, right? It's not like she didn't need Rock Nation to save her from her garbage contract. Black men. Shout out to Jay-Z. She told you she don't need you. Remember, I see black men all over her career, right? Black men all over her career, but she keep on telling you she don't need you. What would Meg The Stallion be if it wasn't for hip hop? If it wasn't for the cosign of Texas rappers, of black men in Texas? If it wasn't for Jay-Z and Rock Nation, right? It wasn't. What would Meg The Stallion be if black men didn't find Meg The Stallion attractive? But remember, she said her whole entire life is built off of black men right now. Her whole entire career is built off of black men, not black women, black men. Yeah, black women are spending money to go to her shows off of a genre black men created. Yeah, black women are paying for her shows, paying for her music, maybe on iTunes or something along the lines. Only reason you can hear her music right now is because Rock Nation saved her ass in that contract. But she tells you, black man, she don't need you. Her whole career is built off of you. She's rich because of you. She's seen as attractive because of you. Because them white men ain't checking like that, like that. But she told you she don't need you, right? Now, another thing, look, there are too many variables to call it. There's too many variables to call it. Meg could sail out in the sunset with this soccer player or with whatever man she meets in the near future and, you know, retire from hip hop and, we don't hear from her again until there's some, you know, 2020s world tour or something like that for hip hop or rap music. And thank you, Indigo Flow. Good point. Shout out to Sir Mix-a-Lot. Shout out to black men for celebrating black women's bodies. After white men had y'all paraded around all across Europe in the 19th century with all type of pejoratives that Mr. Z don't feel like saying right now. Oohing and ahhing at your shape and poking at it. What the hell? What is this? Black men single-handedly made ass important. Black men did that. No one was talking about ass before black men. Black men made ass important. By the way, remember these are the same women that say that you're featureless and texturous and colorist, and you don't like black women's features. Sarah Bartman, exactly, Michael Ross. Thank you. Parading her around Europe like she's some type of lab experiment or something. Her whole entire career, Meg The Stallion's entire career is built off of black men. And she says that she don't need you. She wants you. No, you need black men, Meg The Stallion. No black men, no black girls to buy your music. No black men, no funding of the black girls to buy your music. No black men, no hip hop. No black men, no celebrating black women's bodies to even have a Meg The Stallion. Even the term stallion was black men, mainly in the South, talking about black women with some stature, with some presence. 6'9", sorry, not 6'9", woof, right? 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot tall, 6'1", 6'2" women with body. Even the term stallion as a compliment, not as a pejorative, is black men. And she say she don't need you. Lady, your entire life is built off of black men. You know what's interesting is like when people get so far from the origin, right? From the genesis, and they start talking crap when their entire existence is built off of the people they looking down on and they telling you they don't need you. Right? So Meg The Stallion is going to continue the era of women crying themselves to sleep at night. That's all. That's all Meg The Stallion told y'all. She's going to help to continue women crying themselves to sleep at night. listening to Meg The Stallion. Listen, we don't need y'all. We want y'all. We don't need y'all. That sounds familiar. Sounds familiar. And let's see which way Meg The Stallion goes out. Like I said, too many variables in life. We can't call it. You never know what can happen in her life. But it's possible Meg The Stallion goes out like Eartha Kitt or Diane Carroll, right? Y'all letting the Latina show y'all what it is. She talking all that crap. She ain't leave Offset yet. She ain't leave him yet, right? Y'all letting Cardi B show y'all, yeah, I make this music, but about that. Same thing with Beyonce. If you like, you should have put a ring on it. To the left, to the left. All my single ladies, yeah, about that. Sierra was literally saved by Captain Save 'em and still celebrating, telling y'all to be single. Now let's look at the women that are truly single. You know, like the Janelle Monae's, yikes. The Janet Jacksons, oops. The Mayas, uh-oh. The Tarajis, ugh. The Monicas, ooh. The Carrie Hilsons, ouch. The Brandys, ugh. Right. Black men made Meg The Stallion. When she was blowing up, I remember, hey, bro, you see this Meg The Stallion? You see the butt? And then she turn around and tell you she don't need you. Because black women really care about lyricism, right? When Meg The Stallion was doing all that freestyling, yeah, it was black women watching that for the freestyles, right? Yeah, that's it. Black women were the ones that were oogling and googling and over her body, right? It was black women. Yeah. Hmm. Oh yeah, and International Roller said, don't forget Vivica and Fox Soul Cruzy. Yeah, what, like one of them is married, one or two. Claudia Jordan, what a waste of looks and intelligence. She's witty. She's witty. She's smart, and she's attractive. What that mean, right? How attractive was Vivica? Excuse me. How attractive was Vivica A. Fox 25-ish years ago, right? 30 years ago, 25-ish years ago. Now look at her. Lisa Ray. Meg The Stallion just comes from a long line of black women giving black men primarily the middle finger. 20 years later, 25 years later, right? She just come from a long line of black women giving black men the middle finger, giving larger society the middle finger, and then still demanding that society somehow subsidizes them and supports them. I look at this as a larger Western problem. Black women are just the most egregious and the loudest. Other women have the right sense to maybe not say these sentiments out loud on camera all the time. Although you do see white women saying this too, though. Let's not pretend. And a handful of Latinas. Asian women, not so much. But this is what it looks like to be free. Free, young, successful black woman. The first thing you want to do is tell Negroes how much you don't need them when your entire career is built off of black men. Your entire career is built off of black men, Meg The Stallion. Right? Detroit, that bum. I ain't never liked that chick. Detroit says Stacey Dash. I've always acknowledged, yes, Stacey Dash is a beautiful woman. I never cared for Stacey Dash. Mr. Z never was on that Stacey Dash, oh my god thing that everybody was on, right? When Kanye put her back on in everybody's face, I was like, meh. Clueless. I was like, eh. I always looked at Stacey Dash like, eh. Gotta remember, I grew up in South Florida. I didn't see a whole lot of caramel skin, light skin, hazel eyed black women. Meh. Right? Look, they flaming Vanessa Williams now. But she took a picture as an older woman and they're flaming Vanessa Williams. The first black Miss America, right? You not safe either. You're not safe either. And Meg The Stallion is telling you how she don't need no man. All right. Oh, we don't need y'all. We want y'all. All right. Right. Like I said, Amanda Seals has said similar. How's that looking for Amanda Seals right now? And I think Toya said Amanda Seals went back to dating somebody in her past. Of course she did. You know, give Mr. Z 1 second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give Mr. Z 1 second. And we're back. Guess what, everyone? It is raining. Of course it's raining. It's South Florida. Of course it's raining. Welcome to tropical weather, where it's either rainy, hot, muggy, or all three. Or all three. Right? So, there's something that we really have to cover. Like what they sound like. This is what they sound like young. This is the formula, right? tell the world how much you don't need men, talk crap about men, and then get older and then, hey, you need men back. Pause right here. Y'all talk amongst yourselves again. And Detroit says cold in the D. Of course, it's cold in Detroit right now. When is it not cold in the northern Midwest? That's a better question. Not when is it. When is it cold? When is it not cold? Right. So yeah, Meg The Stallion, she's just feeling herself, and she's saying what she's saying. This is for money also. Let's remember that, right? This is for money also because young women want to hear this. Young women want to hear this. This is what independent look like to them. This is what This is negative liberty, right? F men because men are structure, right? Men are rules, right? Shout out to Janelle Monae. So yes, we don't need y'all. We want y'all. That sound nice, right? How true is that for women in general, black women specifically, Meg The Stallion even more specifically? It's not, right? It's not. And Meg The Stallion could soon find herself, right? And I titled this for a reason, right? It was all good just a week ago because 20 some odd years is a blink. In the grand scheme of things, it's a blink. For us millennials, definitely Xers, we remember when Players Club came out and everybody was drooling over Lisa Ray. What was Vivica Fox 2 could play that game or one of those? Remember that? We remember that, right? We remember seeing a young Claudia Jordan in different, when she was on the talk show, when she not the talk show, the game show and all this other stuff. We remember that. Meg The Stallion, that was 2 seconds ago. In the grand scheme of things, that was yesterday. 25 years is a blink. 30 years in the grand scheme of things is a blink. It's nothing for you to go from what you saying now to sounding like Taraji, right? Oh yeah, The Apprentice also. Thank you. So you can say what you're saying now, and then turn around and then sound like Carrie Hilson, and then a decade or so later sound like Taraji, right? There's a whole lot of women that sounded like there's a whole look, man, Chili, T-balls, Maya, I name them all the time. You would think they would learn. Look at Tracy Ellis Ross right now. And this is a woman who is still fit for her age, still attractive for her age. What that mean? You would think, and you know what? What we're seeing a little bit more and more, and eventually there'll be a leak tape or something like that with these people spilling the beans, is that this is a formula. This is about money. Hey, what do the women want to hear? Whether I'm living that life or not. This is a formula. This is how you could get Beyonce married talking about single ladies. Talking about to the left, to the left. It's a formula. It's a formula to sell women, particularly black women, on their independence in theory. It's a formula to talk about you don't need no man and all of this. That sound nice. Maya's another one, still fit. Chili's another one, still fit. So this is not even about these women necessarily aging physically, although it does matter. But those habits, 30 some odd years, 40 years of developing bad habits, not making it work with men, ugh. You know how easy it is for you to turn into Lisa Ray and Vivica Fox, Meg The Stallion? Do you know how easy you can be Vivica Fox in 20 years? Because Janelle Monáe is going to be Tracy Ellis Ross in another 10, 15 years. She keep on going the direction she's going in right now. Right? Thank you, Detroit. Are men still drooling over Little Kim? Exactly. And Little Kim was a little cute, chocolate, around the way sister. Short, cute, around the way sister. What is Little Kim now? How does Little Kim look now? There's a whole lot of these women that Xers, boomers, young boomers, Xers, and older millennial used to drool over. There's a whole lot of them, right? Look at them now. And we keep on hearing them say this. I don't need no man. I don't want no. They start to get a little bit quieter as they approach 40. In their early 40s, you don't hear them saying it as much. By mid 40, late 40s, Claudia Jordan over here talking about men and bad hygiene and dark toenails and da-da. Lady, you don't got no man. Right? Tell us what they're not going to settle for. Right? I mentioned what Polina Poroskova, supermodel, Sports Illustrated cover, what, 2, 3 times? going out, and still for her age, okay, white women, I don't know how white women age, yeah, but for her age, okay, what she tell you? All the good ones are married, and this once again, remember, this is a woman talking. All the good men are married, and the men that are out here you don't want, and the young men just want to use you as target practice. But Meg The Stallion gonna lead y'all to the promised land of not needing Negrosville. Okay, right. What did Lala Anthony tell y'all? Same thing. But don't take these women's word for it. Don't take Taraji's word for it. Don't take Carrie Hilson's word for it. Listen to Meg The Stallion, right? Listen to Meg The Stallion. Y'all remember the internet is forever. Like I say, the internet will expose us all. I definitely understand where the women are coming from. Think, men are throwing themselves on you at you. You're young. Everything's still sitting upright. Gravity hasn't taken its toll yet. You could walk in 6-inch heels, right? Without your knees giving out on the third step. And you're famous. And you're rich. And you just beat a case. Right? Of course Meg The Stallion sound the way she does. And Meg The Stallion has the money to potentially, actually, financially at least, maybe not need a man. Now, all the other women that's listening to Meg The Stallion, not so much, right? So of course she's pretty much telling men to kiss her ass. I'm sorry, y'all. Just to be blunt, sorry to bring that to y'all this morning, but pretty much, right? So just let them own that. Let the young ladies own that, and then they got to deal with the consequences on the other side, especially of listening to women like Meg The Stallion, where there's a financial incentive on continuing to tell women that they don't need men, right? We don't need y'all. We want y'all. The economy says different, right? We don't need y'all. We want y'all, right? The current state of the black community says different, right? We don't need y'all. We want y'all. Expensive handbags and expensive shoes and car notes being paid say different. Expensive restaurant tabs say different. Expensive hotel stays say different. Expensive vacations say any vacation says different. We don't need y'all. We want y'all. That sounds nice. Sounds empowering. Sounds liberating. How true is it? Right? And no placeholder says, and thank you for the super chat. BGS really broke it down yesterday. Good stuff. Yes, he did. That monologue, that intro, and I actually, like I said, I want to cover that because it just show, and it's pretty much what Mr. Z is saying. Also, they just continue to go down the same path over and over again, generation after generation, saying the same thing. Detroit said gas prices say different. Right. I already said y'all better hope they truly don't de-dollarize. BRICS somehow gets thwarted and falls apart. It's not gonna happen, but okay. Because these people really don't understand how much of their life is built off of where the American empire sits currently. It has set over the past since the end of the Soviet Union, but really since the end of World War II. Right? They talk this arrogantly because they really don't appreciate the era they live in and all the things that are in concert to allow for them to speak like this, particularly towards men, individual men and men as a group, black men. And International Ronin says, Z, but seriously, what man worth his worth worth a damn is going to hook his wagon to her after all that lying she did, saying that her man shot her? She has to say that now. Nobody's gonna take a chance on her. From my understanding, she's dating a soccer player, some rich ass soccer player. From my understanding, I don't know how long that's gonna last. You know how these Hollywood relationships work, these entertainment relationships. So we'll see, right? So we'll see. But the more that's actually a really good point. But the more important thing is, look, and I'm about to end out in a minute. Um, Meg The Stallion saying this once again. We have examples of women saying this in the past and how that looked for them, right? Particularly entertainers, black female entertainers. I'm of the mind that she's really doing this for money. She's saying this for money because this garners you support and money and attention from black women. Black women telling other black women how much they don't need black men. That's always a plus financially, right? Detroit said they've been broke up. Oh man, right? And we're covering this because this ethos, this mindset, this worldview can cripple a society. It is crippling our society. It is crippling our society, right? The sweetie, if your man ain't buying you a Birkin, the ew, you women are doing 50-50 relationship, Chrissy thing, the I want to be a kept woman of leisure, Yanny thing, the men are not on my level, black woman after black woman after black woman after black woman after black woman. calling into Kevin Samuels' show thing, that cripples a society. That cripples a community, cripples a society. The Who Wants to Be with Average anyway? That cripples a community, that cripples a society. And that's why we're covering this. Because Beyonce's Irreplaceable to the left is not just a song, it's a mindset, it's a worldview. Meg The Stallion Plan B song is a mindset, it's a worldview. Lil Kim, If I Was a Man, I'll Tell Y'all to Suck My D is not just a song, it's a mindset, it's a worldview. That's why we cover these things. Because we're in 2023 now. And let's see how these women look by 2050. Maybe not even that long. 2040, maybe not even that long. 2035, it's 12 years from now. Let's see what Meg The Stallion is saying 12 years from now. Let's see what Meg The Stallion is saying 17 years from now. Let's see. Right? And it was it's funny because when I saw the that Angry Man posted this, I thought he was gonna play the Angie Martinez clip of Taraji. I would have lost that bet, right? I thought that's the clip he was gonna play, but this one was a good one. Black man, we need you, right? And like I said, I get where Meg The Stallion's coming from, being that young, being that famous, being attractive to many men, men throwing themselves at you. But I don't know if the black entertainers or Hollywood entertainers have told you, Miss Meg The Stallion. You better go speak to Mary J. Blige and the rest of them. That changes blink. Blink, right? See what I'm saying? Indigo Flow says 10 years from now, the culture claims another one. In a blink, Meg The Stallion. In a blink. It's gonna cap it. It's gonna feel like a blink. And really it's gonna be 15 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. But it's going to feel like a blink. Right? Vivica A. Fox was the super fine young thing. It was a blink ago. Halle Berry was the super fine young thing. It was a blink ago. Angelina Jolie, white girl with the lips and the eyes, black men and white men drooling over her. That was a blink ago. Jennifer Aniston was a blink ago. Madonna, that was a blink ago. Right? That was a blink ago. Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, right? What's the light skin? Emil, Charlie Baltimore, name them. Maya, Monica, Brandy, rest in peace, Aaliyah. TLC, all of that was a blink ago. In Vogue, Escape, all of that was a blink ago. You know who ain't leaving no. You see Tiny still holding on. Yeah, she had her little thing with Mayweather, but you see Tiny still holding on to Ti. Y'all can call them hood all y'all want. Y'all can call them ghetto all y'all want. She ain't going nowhere, right? All of these women coming on the scene. Rest in peace, Whitney. That was a blink ago. Whitney was the super fine singer that you know was on the scene, really coming up through the 80s, blowing the hell up in the late 80s and the 90s. That was a blink ago. Bodyguard came out a blink ago in the grand scheme of things. You couldn't go nowhere without hearing the Bodyguard soundtrack. And here we have a new crop of young women pretty much sticking the middle finger at black men, pretty much. Not understand, you just following down a long road, really a short road, a long road of your foremothers who did the same thing, and your results will be similar, if not worse. Who trying to do anything with Madonna now? Ugh. Who's trying to do anything with Pamela Anderson now? Jennifer Aniston now? Angelina Jolie now? Who? Yeah, when young Mariah came out in her 20s looking like a teenager. And Miss Meg The Stallion, I'm in my mid 30s and I know this. Toni Braxton with that sultry voice, right? You see Celine Dion held on to her man until he died, and he was older than her by what, a decade plus? No, more than that. She held on to that man until he died. She alpha widow. Celine Dion can't be with no other man after that. She might have a little young dude coming through to knock the cobwebs out up there in Canada, but she can't marry nobody else after that. Most likely, we never know, right? This is crazy talk. Know that we don't need y'all. We want y'all. We want y'all. We don't need y'all, right? All of that sound nice, right? Half of these young people don't even know who Naomi Campbell is anymore. And what Naomi Campbell was so goddamn fine, like illegal, right? But of course, and this is the arrogance of young people in general, but young women, right? I even want to talk about Tika Sumter because you already know. At least she married the dude. She had the kid first, and she didn't want to get married, and then she eventually got married. At least she married the dude. Let's see what happens now. After her show got canceled, mixed dish, yawn, right? Let's see how that goes. But there's so many of these women coming out the 80s, coming out the 90s that Meg The Stallion could take example from. But then that'll probably mess up the money if she tell the women, hey, you better get you a man and keep him. Hold on for dear life. Don't leave him just because he left the toilet seat up one too many times. That'll mess up the money. And I think this is also an obsession with the abundance mindset, right? There's this weird obsession with this idea that, oh, I could lose that, I'll get another one, right? Men are just gonna, I can always find another man, right? And the question always, I wonder whenever I hear people say that, men or women, but particularly women, wait, so you're gonna find another person just like that, that's gonna love you the way that person loved you, talk to you the way that person talked to you, kiss on you the way that person kissed on you, spend money on you for women the way that man spent money on you? You're just gonna find you another one? Just blink, right? Oh, Lucy Lou, Detroit. Is she single? I thought she was married or in a relationship. And I also heard rumors that she was on the rainbow spectrum. I don't know how true that is, right? People just be talking because they're egos, right? Like I got a contingency plan if Mr. Z and his lady don't work out. Because I know I'm not finding another one of those. Not anytime soon. Lightning don't strike twice in the same place. But the way these people speak is like, I'll just get another one, man, nothing. Right? Exactly, Michael Ross. It feeds modern female narcissism. Indigo says they have an abundance mindset and we have a scarcity mindset. It's wild. And it is. We're too far on this side, they're too far on that on the other side. But we're more accurate than they are. That's why we're not the ones who file for divorce. Uh-oh. That's also why they're happy as hell when they first get divorced. What about 3 years later, 5 years later, 10 years later? Look at a video of this, the older sister that told you, yeah, I divorced my man. Once I started making more money than him, he got remarried and I was just out here. And she wasn't the only one. Then we have a couple of other more seasoned black women tell you the same thing. Oh, I done messed up. And that's for the handful, and you know that's a handful that actually admitted because what they were super introspective. Let's be honest, these sisters be feeling that. That's why they be crying themselves to sleep at night. We sit it. They will go the wrong way and be mad that they went the wrong way and it didn't work and be mad at the world. Really, you, Negro, and Negro is not the word I want to use right now. They will still be mad at their ex-husband, even though they're the ones who filed for divorce. They're the ones who torpedoed the relationship. They're the ones who torpedoed the marriage, possibly destroyed the kids, and be mad at the ex-husband. Ain't nothing funnier than watching a person racing, driving the opposite direction on the racetrack, mad that they're not in first place. What are you talking about? And Meg The Stallion and a lot of these female entertainers promote this. Oh well, okay. Then you have women like Chrissy poking fun at 50-50 relationships. Women like Yanni saying, I want to be a kept woman of leisure. If I can't, what's the point if I can't be a kept woman of leisure? Lady, you earn six figures. You already are in the top 10% of income earners in America with a horrible attitude. You better be lucky you in Texas, and them Texas brothers like that. They like that type of shape and that type of look. But even with that, you only got a few years of that left. So yeah, I just bought my lady one of these from Starbucks yesterday. Literally just gave. I didn't even know that was a thing. And Toya says, I have a craving for coffee cake for some reason. I didn't even know that was a thing until yesterday. Right? That's funny. That's funny because I didn't know that was a thing until yesterday. Toya said Texas will make you thick. And she better be like Yanni better be lucky. She says she going on all these dates, and I believe her. She has the look. I believe her. But Yanni looks like the person that's gonna overplay her hand. And if you think she sounds bitter and angry now, give it a couple years. Because they have this weirdo mindset. You could just get another one. They're interchangeable, right? We're irreplaceable. We're interchangeable. It's nothing special about us. Cool, right? Like I said, Meg The Stallion. Blink of an eye, you could be Taraji. In the blink of an eye, you could be Taraji. In another blink of an eye, you will be Eartha Kitt or Diane Carroll. We've seen this before. Trail with the joke. I'm not even gonna read it out loud. Right. So on that note, look, Mr. Z should have been gone 20 minutes ago. Okay. Um I just wanted to cover this. I thought what Angry Man said here it is perfect. Perfect, right? And this is not to scare women necessarily, although you should be a little scared. But it is to say like, hey, this I'm young, I'm a boss chick, I don't need no man. Women don't need men. It sounds nice. I get it. It sounds empowering. It sounds freeing. And yeah, and F those men, those sexist, patriarchal men that I kind of still want to be with if they got money and status. Right? I get it. Right? Especially when you young. Mr. Z was in his 20s. We all men are embarrassed about what they were willing to do for the vagina in their early and mid 20s. We're all embarrassed. I get it, Meg. I get it. I know why you sound the way you do. But that only lasts so long. And the difference between men and women is when now we talk about the wall, and everybody now they mock the wall and they make fun of it because one or two older celebrities get married in their 50s or something like that. Right? They mock it. Y'all the ones. Winter's coming, right? FD signifier tried to make fun of it. Winter's coming. Well, we're the men are the ones who die earlier and da 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 da. And that's supposed to scare men. That women live to be older and miserable alive. Because okay, we're out of here by like 65, 70. She stays another 20 years until 85. What does living until 85 mean when you don't got no man and no kids nowadays? And no friends. Because you know y'all can't keep friends for more than 5 years. So yeah, I'll end out on that note, everybody. Look, Meg The Stallion, I hear you. I get it. You young, you're attractive enough, you're famous, you're rich, and it's cool to tell men how much you don't need them, right? That's like the thing to do. It's like I said, freeing, liberating, empowering, right? But you're leading other women that don't have your access and your connections and your wealth down a wrong road. Because financially, you'll probably be okay. Now, psychologically and emotionally, maybe not. But financially, you'll probably be okay. All the other women your age and younger that you're leading down this road, KW Don says, no money at 85 because you didn't save enough for retirement. That part, and you didn't do a job that was worth the damn to really put money aside. It's real out here. Maybe I need to do a video of like independence cost. Yep, there we go. Independence cost. That we'll work on it. Let me come up. Let me put some of my points together and maybe come up with some data points to show the difference between single men, married men and women, and single women. Because independence costs, ladies. And it's not just financially it costs, although that it definitely costs that, but to the psyche, right? Being free ain't free, Indigo. Being free ain't free. And on that note, let's close out. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the thank you button, right? Shout out to the replay gang. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. And yeah, look, Meg The Stallion, I don't know, right? In a blink, Meg, you could be Taraji in a blink. And like I said, I'm not calling it. We don't know. She could go marry someone, white, black, Latino, sell out in the sunset, and have kids and stay married for 2, 3 decades. Then on the other side, she could be Vivica Fox, right? So let's see. All right, we'll pause right here. The internet is forever, though, and the internet doesn't forget. So we'll truly pause right here. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out.